99.1 FM CKXS. Happy Saturday morning to you. It is time once again to join the All About Real Estate show. Pete Allaer joins us today from Riverside Realty. Good morning to you.
Morning, Greg.
Good to have you here with us today. A good Saturday shaping up for us. Good day to check out some houses, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought today, why don't we talk about when it comes time to list your house, what some of our listeners should be thinking about, what you like to see as a real estate agent, and ultimately, I guess we're all trying to make as much money on our house as we possibly can. So there are some tips and some tricks that you can do to make your listing look really attractive, right?
Yeah, I think if a person is thinking about, I'd say on both sides, thinking of selling or buying a house, if they can be prepared and if they can start the process early, it will pay off for them. So if we first start with the listing side, reach out. If you're thinking of selling your house, reach out to a realtor. We're happy to come in. We're happy to have a look at your house, give you some pointers, tell you the things that you may or may not need to do. And it's important to do that early because in this market, when you list your house, you want to be ready to go.
Right.
You have to, when they open the gate, it's like pedal to the metal. It used to be where it was, okay, well, I'd list a house and, they're going to do this to the house or they're going to do that or this is going to get done. You don't want that in this market because buyers are ready to go. So they don't want to hear what you're going to do. They want to see what you've done. So that's an important thing. And I've always said with listing the house, cleanliness, clean, declutter, clean, declutter, clean, declutter. Those are like number one and number two. You do that first, and then all the other little things we can help you with. But like we talked about this once before about using your realtor. Well, this is how you use your realtor. Like reach out early and get this stuff ahead of time.
Is it hard sometimes to give them the honest truth of their house? I mean, that's got to be the hardest part. They're a client. But ultimately, you got to give them the facts. You got to give them it hurts sometimes, I'm sure, to say, hey, you need to do this.
Yes, absolutely it is. But honestly, what I say to them is, listen, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give you good advice.
Right.
And maybe some of the advice might hurt a bit, but again, it's better to just be upfront and honest and say, this is what you need to do.
Right.
And if you do that, because if you don't do that, you're going to be having that conversation, but it's going to be, a month in when their house hasn't sold and they're saying, why hasn't my house sold? And then you be honest with them. Well, then they're going to be even more ticked, right?
Right.
So that's what my theory.
I'm going to say you are similar to a coach. I mean, we've all played, if you've played sports, there was that coach that you just didn't not like what was coming out of their mouth sometimes. And then when you get older and a little bit wiser, you look back and think that was the best coach. The best coach was the one that was just, hey, here is the bottom line. Here's what you need to do to get better. Do this and you'll see success, right? And I mean,
exactly.
I'm sure you got to give them the hard truth.
Yeah, so sometimes you do. And I mean, most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, the people are actually happy that you're just telling them, they realize you're giving them the best advice. So that's on the listing side. Yep. Now, on the buying side, and for both sides, you say ducks in a row. Get your ducks in a row. Get your ducks in a row. Get your ducks in a row. Bottom line. But for the buying side as well, if you're thinking of buying a house, reach out to a realtor. Talk to them. They can help you with the steps to get ready to get those ducks in a row. Go to your bankers or your financial institutions.
Yeah.
Figure out, what can you afford. Be honest with them, because I just had a situation where this young guy, nice guy, showed him houses. He could afford X amount of dollars, went out, put an offer in, condition on finance, boom, couldn't get his money. All of a sudden, when the time come where it was like, all right, let's get a mortgage. Oh, he forgot to tell them about a couple of these little loans that he had that were outstanding and not paid. So they're going to find out. Be honest with your financial institutions, with your brokers, your bankers. Be honest with your real estate, because at the end of the day, we're all here to help you buy a house.
Right.
But, So ducks in a row, both listing and buying. Make sure you get all your ducks in a row before you start the process. In this market, it's so important. If you're a buyer, you got to be ready to go, and if you're a seller, you got to have your house ready to go to sell.
You're talking about some of the small things when it comes to listing, cleanliness and getting everything kind of decluttered. How deep do you go into preparing your house, repairing a roof, replacing windows, doors, paint, that sort of thing? How important? I guess paint isn't too much. It's labor. But would you replace a window if you had a window that was leaking or a window that didn't look so good? Is that key? And I hear people say paint the front door. What do you say to that?
Well, that's sort of a case by case deal. It's not a one size fits all, because there's some houses where you're like, yeah, you know what? It'll pay for you to do, let's say, do the roof. If the roof is shot, yeah, do the roof. If the roof is, a couple years away from being gone, I usually say, I don't know if if you're going to spend 10 grand to do that roof, I'm not sure you'll get the 10 grand back. So it's kind of a case by case. For sure, the next steps after the cleanliness and decluttering is the little things. So, if you got doorknobs that aren't working, you got light bulbs that are burnt out, you got switches that are screwed up and the light doesn't go on, you got, closet doors falling off, fix those little things. The other thing I say to people with the decluttering thing and clean is if you have animals, if you have dogs. Not everybody has dogs. So if there's people walking in your house and they don't have a dog, they smell your dog.
Right.
So just little things like that. If you have an old dog bed that's kind of stinky and you don't smell it, maybe get that out of there, even just for the showing. If there's a showing coming, like put it in the garage or something. And then once we get beyond that little fix-it things, then it comes to like, all right, I don't normally recommend people to like redo bathrooms, redo kitchens, because you're talking major
right.
dollars and time. And a lot of times, unless you can do things yourself, you may not get that money back. So it's definitely a case-by-case situation.
All right. Good information today here. He's Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty. Of course, if people are interested in talking to you about listing a house, just call the office or go to your website.
Website. Of course, we're all over the place. But, call the office, 519-627-3381. And any one of our team members will help you. We always have people on, we call duty through the day to speak to you about things. If you already have one of our realtors, call them direct on their cell phones. You can reach out on our website. You can send us a message. And there's no obligation to calling someone and asking some questions. We're here for you, and we're the experts, and we can give you good advice. Our team's great.
Their job is to sell your house, and that's why he's here today with us. It's the All About Real Estate Show on 99.1 CKXS. More with Pete Allaer coming up in just a little bit. Hold on. All right, part 2 here. 99.1 FM CKXS back in studios today with Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty in Wallaceburg. You're in Wallaceburg, but actually, let's talk about that. You also service all of the area. So it's not just Wallaceburg, Port Lambton, Dresden, and where we are here, but it's beyond.
Yeah, I would say right now our reach is sort of like, definitely Mitchell's Bay, heading towards Chatham. We do some stuff in Chatham. We go out to Thamesville. We go Dresden. We're big in Dresden. We swing back around, of course, Wallaceburg, Port Lambton, and then we head north. Sombra, Courtright. We've done stuff in Corunna. We reach out as far as Petrolia. We had a Petrolia listing. So our guys reach out, quite a ways, and our core, of course, is here in Wallaceburg, but we definitely spread out further.
We were talking earlier about listing your house and timelines, and getting all your ducks in a row. How much in advance should we contact you if we're looking at selling our house? What's a good time to kind of prepare yourself?
Well, I would say anywhere from maybe 2 weeks to a month, depending on what you think, how much work your house does need to get ready. If it doesn't need a lot of things, just a matter of a couple of days, it's not a big deal. But if it needs more more things done,
right,
more time, it probably, let's say a month at the outside should be okay.
Because there's stuff that you guys have to do. You want to get into the house. First, we got to declutter, and then you want to take photos. You want to make sure you share those, and you want to get the listing and all of that stuff. So there is some.
Yeah, there's work on our end. Once we, we can either get it going really quickly, or if there's more elaborate things to do, then it takes a little extra time.
All right. Okay. Speaking of listings, you've got a few that we want to plug today that you've got available for people, right?
Yeah, we've got kind of a great range of listings here. We got everything from lots out just south of Port Lambton on Tyler Drive, the phase 3 of that little subdivision, just off of the Parkway, just south of Brander Park, has opened up, and there's some really nice lots in there. So if anyone's looking to build a house, it's an awesome spot to build.
Are those across the street from the water then?
Well, they're actually not on the water. They're behind the marinas, between the Parkway, kind of across from the orchard there.
Yep.
Back in there, Tyler Drive. It's a
good area.
Great area. Right
nice.
Off of the Parkway, right off of the River Trail, right just south of Brander Park. Nice big lots. So anyone there's I think 8 or 9 that have just opened up there. I got a great little listing on Murray Street. 487 Murray Street, awesome little brick home there, 2-bedroom with a nice garage, and it's been a hot item. I've already had lots of showings, and it's available for viewing. And then I've got an awesome one coming up. It's coming soon, which seems to be a little trend right now. Coming soon. It's over on Island Mooring. It's over on the Riverside Drive, right up. This property is right up against the Snai. You walk out your front door or back door, whatever you want to call it, and you're on the Snai. It's at the end of the Snai, just before the St. Clair River. It's a gorgeous place. It's got a beautiful dock. It's got beautiful deck. It's got a great sunroom. Awesome place. It's just, you go there and you feel it's like you just dropped into Key West. It's really awesome, that little area. So that one's also coming up. It's 4749 Riverside Drive, 4749. Watch for that. It'll hit the presses first of the week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and so there's one where we got a bit more preparation to do. Right. For this listing, but it is definitely coming. And check out our website, because things have opened up. We're getting a little more listings here in the last week or so, and so check out our website, and you can see all the new listings we have, and you can reach out to any one of our realtors to see any one of these homes.
Prices are still staying strong for the sellers.
Absolutely.
Good news there.
Yeah, and strong.
Seeing homes is doable with all the safety restrictions in place. Just not a lot of touching. You're not doing open houses, but you can still showcase your homes.
We can still do in-person showings. We just take precaution. That's all.
Good. He's Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty. Thanks a lot for joining us today in the All About Real Estate Show.
Thanks, Greg.